Back in July 2020, we got our first glimpse of Halo Infinite. Now, many people were displeased with what they saw from the demo. They felt that graphically was unimpressive, especially considering we were entering a new gen. And then there were pop-ins, and who can forget the infamous Craig beam. Due to the reception that they received, 343 decided to delay Halo Infinite for another year, which personally I felt was the right decision. And even though the graphics were not impressive, I personally was impressed with the gameplay that they showed off. It looked smooth, and it looked like a perfect mesh between new Halo and old Halo. Now, leading up to the last couple of flights, I was concerned about the state of the game. We kept hearing things like no co-op at launch, no Forge at launch, co-op is 3 months out, Forge is 6 months out. And we heard there was no progression system. It started to feel like just a not at launch trend, which gave me concerns about the amount of content that the game would actually be launching with. Because what could kill this multiplayer is if they launch content deprived. And seeing as how we kept hearing what's not at launch, I was like, well damn, what is at launch, right? So coming into the flights, I didn't know what to expect. Thankfully, all my fears were put to rest because this flight was freaking amazing. This right here is peak Halo. I'm just amazed. The gameplay was so on point. This is everything I would want from a modern Halo. 343 should be commended for what they were able to do with this multiplayer because this is the least divided the community has been on the gameplay since Bungie left. Whether people were pro-sprint or anti-sprint, nobody has a problem. They found the perfect mix. It's not like it's Halo 1 or Halo 2 where the movement is restricted, but it's not overdone like Halo 5 with all the advanced movement. It's just the perfect mix and the perfect blend. The vehicles, what they did to the Ghost, the Warthog, the Banshee, everything feels so crisp, so buttery smooth. The gameplay is so balanced, and I absolutely loved what they did with implementing the loot caves. It was so genius what they did to have people go ahead and capture points with meaningful rewards. I feel like that perfectly diversifies the gameplay and it spices things up a bit because it's not as simple as, oh okay, the game just started, let's automatically just run to the other team's base and start shooting. No, it's different objectives and mini points, and I absolutely love it. Perfect idea. I like the pickup abilities. Everything feels nice and balanced, nothing feels too overpowered, and I absolutely love what they did by implementing the grapple hook. It is such a game changer, and it's such a nice little tweak to the gameplay. I absolutely love it. And kudos to 343 for having it be a pickup item so you don't just have a bunch of people swinging from trees and that would completely disrupt the flow of the game. So I love what they did by making it a pickup. As for the progression system, one of the tasks is just to win a match. So my whole concern about the progression system was put to rest. As for the co-op campaign being 3 months out, honestly, it doesn't really affect me. I'm not really bothered by it because I like to play campaign by myself anyways. But I know a lot of people like to just go through the campaign their first time with their friends, you know, put it on legendary and you guys just go at it. But for me personally, I'm not sweating over it. And for Forge being 6 months out, I am definitely not sweating that because what we see with the bots, I think Forge is gonna be like insane. They even said themselves that this was the most like ambitious Forge that they were ever doing. I think it's gonna be insane. So I am not even stressing, I'm not worrying. I am completely fine with Forge being 6 months out. With all that being said, can you guys imagine if they had released the game in the state it was last year? Oh my god, this year delay was desperately needed, and I am so glad they delayed it. The only issue was the whole outline system. Like, there's absolutely no way to be stealthy anymore when you're just a glowing, beaming target across the map. I personally would have preferred traditional red and blue. I understand they did it for more customization, but to be honest with you, I don't know what anybody's wearing because all I see is that beaming red and that just takes over everything. So that is my only like major gripe with the game. The multiplayer is amazing. It's free to play, it's Halo, it's going to sell, it's going to do well, it's going to have a lot of players, especially with what we're hearing about Battlefield and Call of Duty. It's going to clean up this holiday season. It's definitely going to clean up. However, We address the elephant in the room. This is the multiplayer. We still have to address the single player, which we don't know anything about right now. And there's a lot of reason to be hopeful, because if these flights showed anything, it shows that they're listening to the community, and it shows that they're actually taking constructive criticism. So I'm not as worried now as I was, let's say, a year ago. And it's not like 343 is incapable of making a good Halo story, because in my opinion, we've seen them do it with Halo Wars 2 and then with Atriox and his storyline. And personally, I think Atriox is the best villain by far that Halo has had. So it's not like they're incapable of making a good Halo story. It's just after coming off of Halo 5, I can't shake that feeling, because we know no matter what, the multiplayer is gonna hit. We've played it, we've seen it, it's free to play, it's gonna be a smash. The single player is where I give a little cause to pause, because it's not a traditional Halo game. It's gonna be open world. How is that gonna work? Is it gonna be a bunch of fetch quests? Go to outpost A, B, C to fight boss A, B, C? I'm not as concerned as I was, but I'm definitely cautious about the single player. Other than that, the game looks amazing, and I am so glad that Halo is back.